In today's video, we're going to address the overall market. It's looking like it's setting up for a massive move very soon. So in today's video, I want to get you all ready. That way you can know what to look for within the next few days. I'm also going to be doing an update on some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the past video. Alright, y'all, before we begin, again, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also don't forget to click on that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, right? So let's get right into it right off the bat. In the last video, my stand on the market was bullish until one thing happened on Friday, which I didn't like. So I told y'all to watch the overall markets. I believe it was between the 11 and the 14. I told y'all to watch it for a move. Actually, no, it was on Tuesday. Yeah, the last video was on Tuesday. I told you to watch it for a move all the way up to at least 4,100. And I thought that it was going to get to 4,100 on Friday. Because if you look really closely, like right here, there was a lot of buyers who stepped in on that intraday sell-off, right? And the next day it actually opened higher, but what it failed to do was run past the previous highs. It's been consolidating ever since. This right here is very irritating, aggravating for swing traders in general, right? For anybody who are holding calls or puts, like with a lot of time, nobody is winning in this zone, right? It's just eating up the contracts. If you have any spike calls or spike puts, it's not moving. It's just going sideways for about 8 business days now, right? But I think the volatility is gonna kick in really soon. And I'm not leaning bullish because it failed to do what I thought it would do on Friday as the last bullish day before we roll over, right? But instead, it's just laying flats. And I don't like that. So, watch the overall market for a potential collapse. Either tomorrow or by Wednesday, I think. All right. Now, another thing that I want to share with y'all is I want to share with you a perspective. Like on the SPY, there isn't anything too special. Like any, what I mean by anything too special, I'm talking about like a structure that I can be like, okay, it's behaving in the matter where we're definitely gonna collapse, right? I don't see that here. But when we look at the Nasdaq is always easier to I guess to read. I'm just yeah, the Nasdaq is easier to read compared to the other indices. The Dow Jones is just really slow, a little too strong. It doesn't collapse as much. Like it's just much slower, and it's not as volatile as the Nasdaq, right? But what you see on here, obviously, I drew this like right before the video to see if something was there, and it looks like there is something here. It looks like there is a bear flag on here. And if I'm right, and we get a massive sell-off, and we get another one of these, like these right here. You see that? This massive fall. This could be a huge opportunity for all of us, especially the bears. If you're bullish on the market, I do not share that point of view with you. And all I can say is be very cautious as you take your next trade. I'm just here to share my opinion, and right now my opinions are bearish. All right, so watch the Nasdaq for a drop all the way down to 11K, either by this Friday or by Monday. I think that may happen. All right. Now that's the analysis on the overall market and what I think and that why there is a bear in the thumbnail. Looking at the VIX, for example, if anybody has a counter argument, the VIX isn't showing anything at all. Like it's really not. It's there's nothing there. It's open up higher, and then it immediately sells off. Every single time it does so, it just sells off. But the market is just flat and like losing steam. It's losing volume. Let me zoom in right here. That way y'all can see. Actually, let me zoom into the volume profile. There you go. All right, and then we're gonna do this. And notice here, this right here. All right, the volume is slowly decreasing as consolidation continues, right? So the next candle might be a huge red bar to break that trend, and then we will see something that looks like this, kind of like what happened here. Like this right here is what I'm expecting for tomorrow, and then the next day something that looks like that here. That's what I'm expecting. Now, one stock that I want y'all to keep on your watch list is TSM. All right. I want to share TSM with y'all for one simple reason. One very simple reason. And it's it's overvalued. Well, it's not overvalued, but it had a huge run by like I think 40 or 40%, maybe 45%. All the way from 60 to $85. And the previous jump over here, I think it was from Berkshire Hathaway. Yeah, Warren Buffett. Yeah. There's news over here about Warren Buffett taking a stake in TSM. It caused the stock to jump, obviously, along with the other semiconductor stocks. Um, and right now, I think it's slowing down. And looking at it like this, when I zoom in, somebody may argue that this is not argue. Somebody may say that this is a hangman pattern, right? Usually this hammer will be a little bit like lower, but it's kind of there. And there's these gaps at the bottom that have to be filled. And if any buyers who bought over here, looking at the chart like this, looking at the way it's slowly going like sideways, they're probably gonna want to take their money off the table, which is going to cause a sell-off in the stock. So watch TSM for a potential pullback. Like I had the same idea for JD, and I shared JD with y'all about 2 weeks ago for a potential long at $44. So we're gonna look at JD, right? I told y'all to watch the thing for a long all the way up to like into the high 40s, low 50s. Got all the way up here. And then on Friday, once I saw this little thing right here, right? Once I saw this, this is called a dark cloud cover. And like you gotta put yourself in the mind of people who are buying. What do you think would happen if they see that, right? And this is a bearish candlestick pattern. So we decided to just short it with puts right here, and immediately today it dropped by like four. It opened up at -5%, and they dropped a little bit more. And as soon as like a minute went by, I started to just sell. And in those 15 minutes of the opening trading hours, that was just the time to sell before it started to do a little bit of a rebound, like right over here. All right. Am I bullish on it? No. I think it has a lot of room down. Again, my exit all in here. This is where I got out, and it just went sideways and sideways. It still has a lot of room to the bottom, so this is another stock to keep on your watch list. It may do another doji like this before Wednesday when it collapses, right? It may do that. So this one is still a good one for a potential shorts. All right. So this one in TSM. Watch these two stocks for this week. Now let's do an update on another stock which is doing weird things. Last week I told y'all to watch HD for a potential long, and it's just been going sideways. I took a loss on this one. I bought a call. I bought one call, hoping that it would. Well, not. I usually don't buy early, but when it looked really really decent. And by the way, anywhere in here is early. Like taking a position anywhere in here, and I took an early position on it. All right, with the expiration of Friday and this move right here, right? I was looking for a bigger move, but it got delayed. So I was off by 24 hours. Could it go up to 3:30 on Tuesday? Maybe, right? Maybe. And the reason why I say that is because when SPY and the other indices go sideways like that, different sectors tend to do their own little thing. Like we can see Apple and Tesla crashing, while on in the Dow you can see a stock like HD, Lowe's, Caterpillar slowly up traded and being positive, right? So that's what happens when the indices trade sideways without any directions. These individual sectors do their own thing, and maybe I was a little bit off on this one by a few hours. So if you have calls on this one, I would say be really, really careful. Again, I'm leaning bearish on the overall market, and if this one decides to follow the overall market, this right here could be, let me just bring it down. This right here could be a bull trap. All right, this right here could be a bull trap. If it opens up lower, it doesn't immediately spike to 330. It's going to collapse. Like I can tell you that right now. If it doesn't open higher at least 320 and run, it's gonna collapse to 300. Okay, so be very cautious. All right, I just want to do an update on this one, that way y'all can know what I'm thinking about it and what's going on. Now, the last stock that I want to discuss in today's video, that stock is Disney. All right. Now with Disney, they put up magical unicorn news this morning about somebody's return to Disney, and then they got really excited, and the stock spiked in the morning. Um, this I don't like the follow through. If there was something really really like if there was a powerful catalyst for the stock and for this move, it would open up here at 97 and push to 100, and this candle will be green, and then we could see a follow through like this. But based off of everything else, right, the way it just sold off and it turned out to be an all-day fader after the news showed up and people started taking their money, I wouldn't be surprised to see that gap at the bottom get filled. Like I think it's gonna drop to $92 within the next by Wednesday. I think it's going to drop back down to at least $93. All right, and then maybe even go lower, maybe. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm not bullish on it. Regardless of the news, again, I'm just looking at it from just the chart, and I don't see anything bullish on here. All right, and somebody may argue that this may be an island gap reversal, right? Where we got the first gap down, we got the big island right here, and then we got the trap of shorts, right? But you gotta keep in mind everything else. Sometimes it works, and usually when it works, it's phenomenal. Like we see the island gap reversal here, and then we see a massive jump up, and then we see the next 3 or 4 days just be monstrous. But currently, all right, and with this volume right here, which is very very obvious, be cautious, and I'm leaning a bit more bearish than bullish on Disney. So that's my very honest thoughts on the stock, all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot, and it allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at NGumah and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, there are some basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3, it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes for you to have all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul NGumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.